to the Lake Look North. Good evening, thanks for joining us. Investigators are combing the site of a major fire at a hospital building in Bulletin in North Yorkshire. The blaze broke out yesterday and ripped through one of the units. No one was hurt, thankfully, but the whole site remains closed. The trust that runs the district hospital says it's contacting patients who were due to have appointments in the next few days. Ollie Constable spent the day in Wheatley.
It was a shocking scene yesterday morning. Large parts of the site here at Bulletin Hospital ablaze. Patients and staff told to evacuate as firefighters were called in. Today, the last of the fire engines have left the site following their work overnight. Now, just a shell remains. Well, you can see that twisted metal and those charred remains from this building through the gap in this fence. When firefighters arrived, this was fully engulfed and only a small amount of it still remains. This was the Springwood unit at the hospital, a complex unit that provided mental health services for older people. It has 14 beds. The trust that runs it tells us that all of those patients and members of staff were evacuated safely. The trees are scorched, water mains damaged, and fragments of the roof and solar panels litter the gardens of neighbours.
Suddenly saw this plume of flames and smoke coming out from this end of the building, and it was twice the height of the building, and we could feel the heat radiating off it very much. So we panicked slightly, and my son-in-law went out and sprayed water on the wooden fence.
I was frightened that it would come and catch our trees and then sit in here. And it just was one roof after another the whole way down. Now that's just a skeleton in there now.
The building affected isn't part of the main hospital and is run by Tees, Esk and Wear Valley's NHS Foundation Trust. But the impact on the whole site has been massive. York and Scarborough Teaching Hospitals runs Bulletin Hospital. Their chief nurse, Jo Haig, said the community response has been amazing.
Also a massive thank you to Bulletin School, Mr Williams, particularly the head teacher, describes an amazing scene of after receiving the phone call for kind of that mutual aid request, looking out and seeing staff, colleagues kind of walking up the hill, pushing beds with patients in and colleagues supporting with equipment that was needed to keep everyone safe. So it was an amazing response.
This morning, fire investigators have been combing through what's left to try and work out how this fire started. Their work will take time.
Ollie Constable reporting there. Next tonight, an amber heat health alert has been issued for Yorkshire as temperatures across the region have been climbing. It will remain in place until 9 p.m. on Sunday and means there's likely to be significant impact on health and care services. A senior doctor at Pinderfields Hospital in West Yorkshire told us there's been a big increase in demand during the recent heat waves.
We're busier now this summer than some of our busiest days during the winter. I think that patients are really surprised when they come in and see just how busy we are. During the last heat wave on some of our hottest days, we saw around an extra 50 patients come through per day. Interestingly, the day after our hottest day on the last heat wave, we had over 1,000 patients come through our doors. That's extremely busy. We'd expect to see around 850 on that day.
An inquest into the death of Sheffield United footballer Maddie Cusack has been adjourned until December. Maddie was found dead at her home in September 2023. The inquest was originally scheduled for April 2025, but was previously adjourned. Today, the coroner apologised to Maddie's family for another delay. The inquest will resume on the 7th of December. Rotherham has made it onto the shortlist to be named the UK's first ever Town of Culture in 2028. Rotherham is the only town in our region to make it through to the final 15, beating local competition from Barnsley and Chesterfield in the large town category. The shortlisted places will now get £60,000 each to develop their full bids, which will be assessed by the independent judging panel.
Rotherham is an amazing place. but too often the conversation about Rotherham, like towns like Wigan and Barnsley and elsewhere, has been one about what's wrong and what's missing rather than what Rotherham has to offer. And I'm really delighted that we're now shining a spotlight on the really strong cultural contribution that Rotherham has made in the past but continues to make still.
And finally, are your weekend plans revolving around a certain football match? I imagine so for many of you. It's England against Norway, of course, in the quarterfinals of the World Cup on Saturday night. And we would love to hear from you. If you're throwing a party, celebrating at a pub or a big screen, do let us know where you're watching the match. You can get in touch at look.north@bbc.co.uk and we'll use as many of your messages as we can tomorrow evening's programme. Let's get the weather forecast now. Here's Paul Hudson.
Thanks very much. Good evening. Well, it's obviously been a hot day today. Almost a repeat performance tomorrow. All parts will be sunny and hot. The weekend then, high pressure still in charge, but a little bit more of an easterly breeze. That means temperatures just falling by a few degrees, but still very warm indeed. Now for the rest of tonight, it's looking very quiet, dry and clear. A little bit of patchy mist perhaps by dawn, and we'll see lowest overnight temperatures in the range 14 to 17 degrees Celsius. So a beautiful day again tomorrow. All parts will be dry with long spells of sunshine and very little, if any, cloud around. So temperatures once again rising sharply. We're looking at highs around 32 or 33 degrees in Old Money. That's the low 90s Fahrenheit, but it will be somewhat cooler along the coast. A lot of fine weather in the coming days, but as you can see, temperatures not quite as hot, levelling off around 24 or 25 degrees. That's the forecast.
Okay, that's all from the late team at Look North. Thanks for your company tonight. Good evening.